This episode of Discussing Death Battle is brought to you by disappointment, because we can't have good things without having it ruined on us.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Discussing Death Battle. I am Wolf, and here with me as always is Moh.
Today is the 3rd of December, to date this thing. Pokemon Sun and Moon came out on the 23rd for us, I think. I have not eaten, I have not slept. My pokedex is only 213 Pokemon full. This game hates me. Although these games are amazing. Play them! Play them!
And Metabro is here once again.
I think it's funny considering what we're about to talk about. They did call today the December 3rd.
Yeah, it works.
That's his accent. It's like how he likes to call Thor Tor.
Tor. The accent.
Anyway,
like it sounds right when you're around other people.
For those of you wondering why the hell Meta is still here, Meta's gonna be here until the end of the season, and then when we start up next season, we'll
he might stay, he might go. We don't know. It depends on. It depends on the schedule. We don't know.
Should I stay or should I go?
Copy her. Right. It depends on his schedule more than anything else.
So
if you guys like him, let us know in the comments. Nobody else seems to like him.
Yeah.
Who likes
should we get started on things?
Yeah, let's get going. Let's get done.
Alright, well, we had a death battle that happened, and I'm gonna
it's the
say
only
right
bit of happiness you get for us.
I'm gonna say right now, it's probably the best death battle of Season 3. Okay, no, not really. Best 2D battle of Season 3, though, definitely. It's Zoro versus Erza Scarlet, and, yeah, pretty good.
It was good. I don't know if it's the best 2D.
It's this or Ken versus Terry.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ken versus Terry had much better sound, but this one had like just better camera angles, I guess.
Yeah, but I think this also had like really good jokes too, like from Wiz and Boomstick.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. I like the ice cream bit. The ice cream bit was kind of
I think the analysis was better, and I also think that what's it called? Just the scale of it helped it over Ken versus Terry, which just felt very cramped.
Oh yeah, this was huge.
Does that make sense?
Tell.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say definitely that the 2D animations feel like they're getting better and better. So
yeah,
I agree.
We don't have
It's nice. It's nice. They're not on the level of what they used to be, but they're getting back there, and it's definitely
we just need
CV,
to get it. We just need
what
to
do people call him now? CV Jets. I don't know if they call him CV or Jets or what he prefers to be known as, but whoever the guy who animated this one, we all know who he is. He's
I'm still not
he's
used
carrying
the whole
2D
pixelating actual official image stuff like he did with Zoro and like he's done before with Ken and Cammy.
I think this one was one of the better ones. I think this one worked.
Yeah, definitely seemed like it worked this time because it was like short, sweet, and it actually added more to the scene.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like a still either. It was like actual.
It actually moved.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
good.
it was good. It was good.
Definitely.
And the analysis I wanted to just touch on a little bit, just because.
Here we go.
They did pretty. No, they did actually a really good job. I mean, they didn't get the speed difference quite down right. I mean, they used like.
It's death battle, so it was
battle, so they can't. It was
the range
for everything perfect.
It came to the right conclusion where that Zoro is just much faster, so that's good.
Close battle is pretty much exactly what he wanted in the
when
first place.
When they get the main picture, it's fine. Like we can't really complain beyond that.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that and this should be completely fair, they did lack a lot of information on Erza's part, like on Erza's side, like they were missing like a couple of key armors, which wouldn't change anything to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think they could have like touched on them a little bit.
The main one that I see he brought up is the armor that you tore into last episode with
the Nakagami armor, yeah. And it could be a thing where it's like, oh, we don't really have anything to animate this, where any sprites of it or anything, so it doesn't change anything, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's just they should have brought it up in the analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, they already said that she has like over 100 different armor and weapon combos that it'd be pretty much impossible to go into without like
they went
into
for
5-hour territory.
What they gave her is what works for an animation. I don't mean like in terms of what's rights they had, because they might have made a couple. I don't know. What I mean is they went for what's coolest. They went for the ones that can fly, the ones with lots of swords, her strongest armor, and the armor she's most known for, which is when she's practically naked, because fairy tale. So
of course.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's Japan. What do you expect?
No, not even just Japan.
It's just fairy tale.
Fairy tales goes above and beyond the call of shonen. Like there's other manga that go. It's meant to. It's
not even Code Geass has that much fan fiction on it, and Code Geass.
It's a shonen, and they go.
Wait, how do you know how much fan fiction fairy tale has meta?
I read it.
How do you know that?
I read it.
Oh my god!
Wait, are you talking about?
No, it's fine.
Are you talking about the manga, or are you talking about other stuff?
He said, how do you know how much fairy tale fan fiction there is? And you said, I read it.
Oh, fan fiction. I thought you said fan service. That's different.
No, he's dying. You've killed him, man. There, Mac.
It's confirmed. I scour fanfiction.net now for all the fairy tale fanfiction.
Look at fanfiction.net.
Okay, meta. You can. Are you serious about that?
Wolf.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious. I'm not. I thought you said fan service.
Whilst we've been talking, I have gone on to fanfiction.net and tried to see how much stories fairy tale has. 59.5k.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
That's still not
Although it's not as much as Naruto.
What anime or manga has the most? Dragon Ball?
Naruto with 108k.
Oh, yeah.
What a
It's
shock!
fucking hell!
Of course.
Fucking Fairy Tail is more than Dragon Ball. What the hell? By a good 10k. And Yu-Gi-Oh has more than Fairy Tail. What the hell?
Dragon Ball is not really known for its
top
well, I guess it does have.
If you're morbidly curious. Okay, top 5 you're morbidly curious: Naruto, Hetalia, Inuyasha, Bleach, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Fairy Tail. They're the top.
It sounds about right.
5.
To be honest.
Good God, internet has the internet has the worst
is
take.
how many lemons there are, which I'm gonna say right now. I used to be a part of the fanfiction community.
I'm not doing that, Phil.
Yeah,
no, we're not gonna find
that.
out.
Please do not. But I would not be surprised if there's a lot for Fairy Tail.
For you children who do not know what lemon means,
Lemon
it means that someone puts their genital regions against another person's genital regions. It is called the sex.
From what I've heard, technically lemons are banned on fanfiction.net, but they have no mods whatsoever, so they'll just post the most shit that's not even supposed to be that goes against the rules.
I've heard that, yeah. I've heard that a lot, yeah. Which is weird.
Fuck?
I know.
Because
weird.
The sex stuff is not allowed technically on fanfiction.net. If you look at the rules.
Actually, if we're doing this, do you want my funniest story from fanfiction.net? It got linked to me once because they have a WW.
So I thought it was interesting that they used the exact calc from
WWE section.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my.
So I thought it was interesting that they used an exact calc from Naruto forums for the episode. Jesus Christ.
Oh, we gotta segue away from this shit.
Yeah, please, let's get off the fanfiction.net stuff.
Let's go from the sex fanfiction to the fighting fanfiction. Yeah, it was, they riffed the fucking calc from the Naruto forums again.
They got the same exact calc number.
Nice.
They didn't.
Which
they
one
didn't
was it?
show,
Was it the yeah?
It's the Pika thing.
They didn't show any workings.
They didn't show any of the. Yeah, they didn't show any of like the actual numbers or calculations of it or anything. They just basically just flat out said, "Oh, it's 11.5 megatons," which I thought was like, you gotta show your math too. If you gotta link it and stuff.
It's like in school. You can get the answer all you want, but you gotta show your work. We're talking to
Proto a lot of the time. Like, I don't calc feats much myself. I've done it on occasion, but not much. Yeah, talking to Proto and like going over calcs and shit. He brought up an interesting point that I think relates here, in that if you got 100 people to do a calc with the exact same method, the little bits and differences in their math means you'd probably get 100 different results, vastly different. just because of like that many variables and how they'd actually like get the values they need, even if they use.
Yeah, I wondered what he was talking about in regards to this.
Yeah, he was. I wonder what he was talking about in regard.
Yeah.
Super fighting robot. Anyway, yeah. So.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, just to get the exact same result, with definitely for Naruto forms.
Yeah, this is probably why versus debating is a very, very touchy subject to go into if you're gonna be doing that kind of thing. If you can do it and you can do it right, that takes some skill. And going into it alone takes some balls, I will admit that.
Not only that, there's just different methodologies. Some people treat the author as gospel, some treat people... Most versus communities practice the death of the author. But, you know, then there'd be wars between those two communities. That's just one example of different methodologies.
Or you could be a complete asshole and just use the handy books versus babies.
Oh, shots fired!
Oh, well, you're gonna make people angry, Mac.
Oh, we're gonna get so disliked, aren't we?
Probably. I'm not. We're on a new channel for this reason. I'm not putting.
No,
that
for
shit.
various
Let's keep that in.
reasons.
Yeah, but if you're watching from versus battles, you do a great service. We may not agree with your fucking methodology, but
just for the Marvel characters.
You still do your
fix that,
job
please.
fine. Yeah, just for the Marvel
Zelda.
characters. Please.
Zelda, no.
Pokemon, nuking the Pokemon section kind of pissed me off.
I was actually looking for like good Deoxys stuff the other day, so I was like, it kind of got like, it was like weird, like looking for that on that site. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway.
Yeah, they nuked it all because they're like, we can't scale shit because reasons. Same reason as the reason they nuke comic sections. They don't because it's all wildly inconsistent. Well, it's not really. Like, Deoxys is pretty consistent. Beats the shit out of Rayquaza. To lose to Mega Rayquaza. You know? It's pretty consistent with that. Anyway, we're moving away from... It did fight Mewtwo in the manga, and it was a pretty epic fight.
Yeah.
Because
Mewtwo's... in Mewtwo vs. Shadow, Mewtwo, like, stabbed himself with his sword. With his...
hentai-ness and...
Moving on. Before we go into the darkness
from the positivity to the negativity. Oh, jeez.
Okay,
so
to preface this before we even say what the fight is. Yes. Preface this before we even talk about what the fight is.
I don't know. I thought Zoro versus Erza was a pretty good season finale.
Self-confessed. Yeah, what?
I'm gonna admit this now. For those who don't know, yes, I am a brony. Yes, I am a fan of the show. No, I'm not as obnoxious as bronies are or can be. So
me and Mac are not fans of the show.
That being said, even as a fan of My Little Pony, I do not like this matchup at all.
Because it's Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie.
Oh dear Lord, I hate this matchup.
Just saying that gives me pains in places I did not know I could get pain.
Okay.
Oh, the music suggestion for this section is just going to be wonderful.
There are various reasons why I do not like this one. First of all, just the idea of a pony killing a character is just wrong, in my opinion. Just flat out wrong. B, I think there are several different characters Deadpool could fight that would be much more fun or entertaining matchups, like the Mask, or Lobo, or Freakazoid.
Yeah.
C, there are much better...
I've seen Alucard brought up, just for the reason.
Alucard. C, there are much better pony characters who I think would be much more fitting to be in Death Battle more than Pinkie Pie, like Twilight or Discord. And D, this is two joke characters. Why? If this is a serious death battle, it's a huge mistake. And if it's a joke battle for a season finale, that's just dumb.
That's my biggest... No, I have a lot of issues with this fight. A lot of issues. But my biggest issue of them all is that this is our season finale in a season that, for all of its flaws that we've gone over, every single fight, minus maybe Meta versus Carolina, has had a sense of weight and scale and just been a really good rivalry, and we're ending it with like the most weird, fucked up matchup. Like, think every other fight this season, every single one, as badly executed as some of them were, like say Mewtwo versus Shadow, if done right,
they could be really good.
Then
I know
they
somebody
could have
wrote
a season
fight on
finale level,
and it was a really good fight for Mewtwo versus Shadow.
Yeah, because they have so many different abilities. That's just one example. One example.
Hell,
All
even
of
the ones
Torian's
that are
animations
done wrong, if done right, like you said, can be done right. It can be amazing. Bowser vs. Ganon is a very good example. We hate that fight, but
there's
that
so
is
much
a
more they could
really
have done
good
with that.
matchup.
Even if Ganon still wins, there's so much more they could have done with that it could have been a season finale, and it keeps going. The biggest one, in my opinion, is Hulk versus Doomsday, 2 fights ago.
Which was a really good, really well executed fight.
And the final bit with this, like all the gravitas that felt like a season finale. You could end it there, and people
Now,
like, when's the next one? When's the next one? So good.
I've heard rumor about this, that technically this fight was supposed to happen after Flash vs. Quicksilver happened, and that Zoro vs. Erza Scarlet was supposed to be the finale. I've also heard rumor that this was supposed to be a season 4 episode, and we're not going to talk about how I heard rumor of that. But if either of those were the case...
That isn't cryptic.
If either of those were the case, though, that would make a lot of sense.
Stealthy Wolf.
Yeah. Either one of those could make a lot of sense as a Season 4 fight, or going after Flash versus Quicksilver.
I've myself, from different sources, heard that the season finale has been chopped and changed a lot. Now, if that's true or not, we'll never know. The
only
issue...
reason I can think that they possibly might have moved Deadpool versus Pinkie up to the season finale where they did is because Season 6 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic ended like a month and a half ago.
This is setting himself up for disaster as well, because the Pony fan base is not as big as it once was, so it's not going to get as many views. On top of that, whilst the Pony fan base isn't as big, it is just as ravenous when it gets going. No offense, Wolf, you're not one of them.
I understand.
If you kill a pony, they're gonna be pissed. If you kill Deadpool, who is possibly the most popular comic character going right now, they're going to be pissed because, you know, the whole "I can't die" shit. It's in the lyrics of the rap at the end of the movie.
But you have also this other thing of like,
if it's draw a match, then it's people going.
There's also, if you want to go into tinfoil hat theory, and I'm not saying any of us are, but if you want to go into tinfoil hat theory.
Aliens are coming!
We had a lot of tinfoil hat theory with Bowser vs. Ganon of Ganon only won to appease the people that got pissed at Peach beating Zelda. Well, here you have either appeasing the people that got pissed at Starscream losing to Rainbow Dash, or appeasing the people that got pissed that Deathstroke didn't beat Deadpool.
Now, as someone who was pissed, and Mac will probably agree with me here, because I know he was too.
Fuck Deadpool!
That Deathstroke didn't beat Deadpool. Yeah, as someone who agrees with that, is that Deadpool should have lost Deathstroke.
I'm just kidding, I actually love Deadpool.
If Pinkie wins, here, I will be furious, because you just shown me that battle, that a pony can do what one of the...
Probably
my favorite DC character,
Slade comics cannot.
Yeah, Slade, my favorite DC character couldn't do.
And I'm gonna say...
That will...
And you know what?
I know what,
both of them have really... I'm gonna say this now, statistically, as fight-wise, I could reasonably see this ending in a tie, because both are really hard to destroy. Deadpool's really impossible to kill, and Pinkie does have Toon Force on her side. So I could reasonably see them saying, you're a good opponent, let's just end this and be friends and go off doing crazy things.
They're going to like jump out of the fight and beat up Wiz and Boomstick in real life.
Yeah, which is what we thought Chuck versus Segata was gonna do.
Yeah, there's not going to be like destroy the universe or any of that crap. They're not going to blow it that far into proportion. They're not going to put them on the level of Chuck versus Segata, and they're not going to put them on the level of Goku or
What
Superman.
What if they like travel between like all the old fights?
That's
it's like a crossover
that's
thing.
Another
and then
good
kill,
possibility, but
and then
that
kill
would take
Chuck
a
Norris
lot
and
of work.
Segata. Imagine that happening.
Because
I could totally see that.
Work, though, and I don't know if they'd be able to do that off of Zoro versus Erza. But I mean, this is a season finale. If they did a lot of grand stuff like that, that would be awesome. But I don't know.
I don't see them going back and killing other combatants. But they'll probably go back and use other combatants in their own fight. But their own fight is just going to end
in a draw.
No contest, because neither of them can die. This whole fight.
Neither of them can die,
and they're just going to become friends. There you go.
I mean,
Yeah, the
I
whole
know
fight
this is
just
called
rings
Death Battle.
of,
I
like-
think this is the one time I think a non-lethal end is really the only fitting way to go.
Exactly, and it's accurate too, because there's really no way either of them could kill each other permanently. Maybe, maybe Pinkie could incapacitate Deadpool,
Pinkie,
but
in
she
one
can't
episode,
ever kill
Pinkie,
him.
like, exploded into a million pieces, and she was still alive.
Yeah. It wasn't a million pieces,
no,
but she was like...
It's hyperbole.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen the person who win if they were in an actual fight that wasn't to the death. I've heard varying, like what's accepted for Pinkie.
Now there is a way
would then
technically
depend.
Pinkie
Like
could go murderous, and that's something from the comics called Joker Pinkie, as it's been dubbed. But I highly doubt they'll go that far.
I'm not even... Herald of Galactus,
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about plain stats. Like I've heard that a lot. I've heard from different sources looking around for the fight, like different forums, Reddit space battles, and that kind of shit. I've heard that Pinkie isn't like as strong as a lot of people are saying. She's one of the weaker ponies, and I'm like, okay, I don't care.
Well,
but like,
Pinkie's not a fighter; she's a partier.
As in, some people are actually thinking that's that Wade. As in, people are actually saying that despite some of the stuff that Pinkie's done, Wade's still probably a statistical superior, which is news to me. But I don't really look into it.
Or
so care. I don't care. But like,
see, this is,
I don't know. I really
said,
like.
I
want if I had to pick a winner right now, I'd want Deadpool to win. Obviously, if I pick a winner, if I had to pick a winner, because Deadpool can be a good character, and like I think we've been over this before, but it's just
not can be. He is.
Yeah, he is when he's not meme pool.
Yeah,
exactly, and that's what this is going to be. It's going
what we're going to get right now.
A good example of where he's not meme pool and
he's
still hilarious.
Yeah, the movie's a good example, or some of the more story arcs. In fact, a lot of his more recent stuff, funnily enough, given the fact you think they go all in on the meme pool craze, has been playing it down. It's quite weird. But it's very bad.
It's great.
A bad example would be the Deadpool game. Game, but like characterization was all wrong.
I mean, here's the thing though with Deadpool, and this is something a lot of people like to just say, oh, Deadpool's just a murderous psychopath that makes a lot of jokes. He actually can be, he's only a murderous psychopath when he's actually doing his job as a bounty hunter, or as an assassin, or or fighting against superheroes and supervillains. When he's not doing that, he can actually be a very caring and kind character.
It's very sad character, actually.
Yeah, very sad, but he's helped out a lot of young teenagers who feel, in the comics, he's helped out a lot of people that feel worthless, and you can take him seriously sometimes.
There was a great moment in a comment where it showed him talking to, I don't know if it was Apocalypse's son or if it was like a young clone of him or something, but it showed him being like a father figure.
Apocalypse or Thanos' son or something. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was Apocalypse or Thanos.
He was a teen, and he was unsure of himself, and Deadpool came in and he was just kind of like giving like words of encouragement and stuff, and it was actually a really touching moment. Didn't he give him porn? He did give him porn. He gave him Playboy.
Yeah.
See, that's an example where he can be funny, but also serious at the same time.
But a good character. Exactly. And there was another one I saw recently of him talking someone down from suicide. Remember the Superman scan that Ben...
That was very recent.
It's very recent, yeah. So, like, yeah, it's almost like, it's very similar to the Superman one, where Superman talks to someone down. It's different at the same time. Yeah,
as much as people want to point out, also, and this is, I know, might infuriate Moh a little, as much as people like to just talk shit about My Little Pony, there are some very serious moments in that show sometimes. One of the examples is with Pinkie. In one of the earlier episodes, she assumes her friends don't give a crap about her anymore, and she goes into psychological depression, and it's just really dark. I mean, at the end, they reveal, the reason why her friends were trying to avoid her is because they were throwing her a surprise party. But it's still a rather
Oh my god, I have heard of this when I've seen this fight brought up before this fight was announced. I actually did hear that one.
Unfortunately, there is the part of the fan base that just thinks there's a part of Pinkie that's just completely murderous, and there's a fan fiction where she just decides to murder all of her friends.
No.
I hate that fan fiction so much. But
no more fan fiction, please.
But there are a lot of moments where they actually do serious character development for any of the pony characters.
Basically, what we're trying to say is that this is kind of like Flanderization the fight.
Yeah,
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's taking them down to their most beamy, kind of jokey.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, it's fine if... Here's my big problem with it. Here's my big problem with the fight. More so, besides this being like the season finale and not being exactly what we're looking for. You know, Death Battle at the end of the day is just a show to entertain you. And you know, if they want to have a joke battle, that's fine and stuff. You know, it's whatever. It's not what we're looking for, because the whole point of the show is just to be entertained. We can have like a goofy episode where we just turn off our brains and stuff. You know, like Chuck Norris.
Example of that.
Very good example of it. The problem with that, this joke isn't that funny. You know, it's just two
memes.
fourth wall breakers. And if you were going to go for the whole route of like fourth wall destroyers, there's much better options.
Mask
because these two
are
already
is a really good example of that one.
Popeye.
That idea is really funny.
You could have had like Popeye exactly.
Versus Luffy,
or any other cartoon character. Mickey versus Bugs has its own problems, but that's another example.
That in itself would be hard to do, mostly because of copyright. But...
Lobo.
Lobo,
yes. Hilarious.
We wanted Lobo versus Deadpool, because even though it's a stomp, this one was obviously going to be a no contest, because they're not going to kill Deadpool. They're just not going to kill him. Unless whoever he's fighting has anti-regen. But Deadpool versus Lobo, or Deadpool versus Alucard, another example, would just be a hilarious no contest. That would also be awesome in scale.
Though, a lot of them really do not end well for Deadpool, because a lot of them seem like stomps in favor of most of his opponents. Because as powerful as Deadpool
in terms of stats, but
yeah, it's the hacks. That's the thing.
It's not only the stats. It's just like he's not gonna die. Although doesn't Lobo have stall hacks, Mac?
Has he have what?
Doesn't Lobo? I think you said Lobo had soul hacks in the chat one time.
He can affect people's souls. Like, he can leave his body as a soul and like attack ghosts and stuff. So theoretically, he can like just punch the shit out of like Deadpool's soul, I guess.
We're working with theory there, so that's not going on. Okay, either way, it's a better fight. Which I guess
he can touch intangible beings too. So I don't know. I guess theoretically, he fought in hell before, so.
So,
like, whatever that's worth.
So, Too Long Didn't Read, Galactus vs. Unicron should have been the season finale.
Yes!
That would have been arguably worse.
Thanos vs. Darkseid was a good one.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thanos vs. Darkseid,
or Strange. Yeah. I honestly, when I was thinking about season finales and when I heard that this one would be the last one, before I knew any context about the hints and stuff, I kind of expected Doctor Strange vs. Dr. Fate.
Yes.
It gives the same sense of scale. It gives a massive sense of scale that most fights don't have, which would give it the same, but also tie into the more recent movie.
Yeah,
even though
Strange
would die, but yeah.
As hype that fight would be, I don't know if I think it's just too big because there's just so much to go over with all these abilities. I feel like
it's gonna be 2D anyway, so. Oh, you mean now?
Yeah, they're all gonna be 2D. This one's gonna be 2D
because
Torian's on break because he's making the season premiere, which I'm more than likely hoping will be Megazord versus Voltron, as much as the Megazord loses, and I love Power Rangers. It's probably gonna be Megazord versus Voltron because the Power Rangers movie's coming out in like March, and that's probably when the season premiere is gonna be for season 4 of Death Battle.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Optimus Prime!
Optimus Prime would also... Have we not gotten Optimus Prime in Death Battle yet? That's what I want to know.
No.
Still.
No.
He's
still.
I don't know.
He's one of the most popular freaking fictional characters out there. How is he not in Death Battle yet?
We had all these 80s.
I'm not gonna lie.
They had another Transformer in there.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Optimus. He's amazing. But when he gets in Death Battle, I kind of want him to die just because one of my best friends loves Optimus, and I want to see him cry.
You are just a sadist, aren't you, Mo?
I am horrible.
Everybody angry and upset.
Do I need to tell Pokemon vs. Digimon
No,
story
you don't
again?
need to tell that story again. We already know that
This is the same friend.
Anyway.
It's the same friend who did that. Who loved it. Great.
God, no.
So it's like he caused so much pain. Now he must see pain.
No.
Although
Anyway.
I think if Pinkie wins, it'll have a similar effect. He loves Deadpool. So.
Oh fuck that!
There's a line that I don't even want to cross.
What if Deadpool wins? Like, everybody's been considering, the pony winning just because just expecting the worst and stuff.
That's the better case scenario.
It would be the better case scenario.
In the world,
I think the best case scenario though would just be no contest. They just end up
Yeah,
walking off as friends, or
the best case scenario is a no
contest. It would
and
be.
the most likely scenario too. But if Deadpool does,
could you imagine
win, it's the better of the
the
two.
hate from Deadpool winning though?
Oh,
Could
yeah,
you
I
imagine
can.
Could you imagine?
Believe me, I can. Because
Could you imagine the hate
remember, I'm in the middle of that fan base. When they get pissed, they go rabid. Like there is
So like
especially
Deadpool,
just-
like I said at the beginning of the segment, Deadpool is possibly the most popular comic character out there right now. It's him, Batman, or Spider-Man. Like there's no real other competitor. As like Wolverine, Superman, like they're all popular,
maybe
but not
Spawn,
not
but
this
even
level.
Not as much. And
No,
Popularity
speaking of
Spawn's
doesn't
kinda
Spawn, we have another thing to talk about, and it's also something negative. There was a
It's
DBX.
DBX time. Our
Spawn
favorite
versus
time.
Alucard, which I will admit they got the result right, and that still is that's still a very awesome matchup. But oh boy,
No. It started okay for like the first second or two.
So yeah, we're not spoiling anything when we said that the animation could have been a little bit better.
yeah, the animation.
Basically.
And also, Alucard could have been much better, actually, as a character in that fight. He could have actually,
I love how the fact that they had Alucard, the guy who's regenerated from pools of blood, die when he was shot in the head.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's the
Yeah,
absolute best.
that's-
That's like Spawn wins, and Spawn has ways to put Alucard
Oh,
kind of
hell
slow
yeah,
down.
even with
but, like,
Schrodinger.
Multiple
But it
ways,
would take-
hundreds of ways.
hundreds and thousands of ways, but not that.
Nowhere near
That,
like
that will not work. That's how the fight
Plus the-
fucking starts.
That's
My
why
theory is
that
that he
Spawn
shot him in the
was so
head and then-
disappointing. It was just, boom, blow his head off. Fight's over.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah, basically.
Wait, is he not getting back up? Because he can get back up. It's like seeing Wolverine die because he gets
And
stabbed in the shin.
The irony of this was the fact that the fight was sponsored by Crunchyroll, and the anime character ends up losing.
That's. I think the irony of this is the fact that the fucking ad was longer than the DBX, which was longer than Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg.
Yeah. That's
Have to throw it in.
just-
It's
the
the ad was
DBX
longer
is just disappointment
than the
incarnate.
fight. It's fucking. Yeah, that. I think we have our episode title.
Yeah,
It's disappointment. Incarnate.
Yeah, there we go.
makes sense.
There we go. All right. So
disappointment
it
incarnate
makes
is
sense.
applied to a lot of things this
Beautiful.
year, namely 2016
Speaking of-
itself.
yeah. Speaking of disappointment, though, not too near as a degree. I think we can move on to.
Oh, don't
the
even
one-man
start. I
melee.
loved it.
We're talking about
No.
Batman versus Iron
was
Man, the
beautiful.
one-man melee. I thought
Fuck
this
Iron
was a
Man.
really good one-man melee.
Nah.
I agree. Fuck
Like,
I
it was
love
very
the interaction
one-sided, and it
between
was.
That wait forever.
Ah, there we
Wait forever.
There we go. There we go. I see
That
why
wait
Mac
forever.
likes it.
There we go. Yes.
Mac likes
I
it
love
because
it.
Iron Man. Because is it because Tony killed Lex, or you just generally dislike Tony?
I
Or
a
both?
little bit of both. It's like 80-20.
I think Tony was a horrible character in the early comics, but the more recent comics and the movies, he's pretty good.
That's because
That's
the whole
my.
thing of the Demon in a Bottle storyline just ridiculous.
No, it was after. It's way after Demon and Bottle he got good. Demon and Bottle was kind of just the emphasis of why Tony's such a shitty character, and it made that into a good story. But Tony himself was kind of shitty.
The reason why Tony was such a shitty character was because Stan Lee intentionally created him for you to hate him but feel sorry for him as well.
Yeah, the more recent, like I think post Secret Wars and the New Armor, Tony's been pretty good.
I thought it was because he's like one of the only
like just
few
as a character
like.
in general.
I thought it was because he was one of the few like purely like actual conservative characters in comics, and I don't know. And then he just wasn't like a conservative. I've heard that before, but I don't know if that's accurate.
No, not really.
Either way, that doesn't really have bearing on the fight. Like
No,
in my,
like,
in
but still.
in my opinion, this fight very one-sided. Not much really happened. The sound effects were kind of meh, and it wasn't the prettiest. It was still pretty. It was one-man melee. It still looked good.
The effects
And
were
that's why
really good.
But here's and the voice actors were great. The voice actors were phenomenal.
The Batman one was
the reason
ridiculously
why
good.
the Batman one almost sounded exactly like
Yeah.
Ken Conroy.
It's really
Like
good. But the
exactly.
reason
Like
I
they
think
need to
it's
get the calls in, Warner Brothers, because I think Kevin Conroy has been phoning in a couple times, so we need a new Batman.
I think Kevin Conroy. See, I talked with Kevin Conroy before. I met the guy, and he says doing
Like
that
a con or
voice
something?
hurts his throat a lot.
Oh, he's been doing it for like 20 plus years, 25 years.
And the guy's
Yeah,
in like his
25
50s.
years. No.
Yeah, so I mean, if they need a replacement, we got a good backup.
Yeah.
But this guy right here, and we have the guy who played Joker in Joker vs. Sweet Tooth as a good Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that was one of the best.
But
ones.
anyway,
It's great too. Although, to be honest, they're probably going to just get Troy Baker if they ever want to get Joker, because he did a
I
really
gotta
good job.
commend the writing for that one too. The jokes are pretty spot on, and I like the reasoning is pretty much perfect. It's in character for both Tony and Bruce.
Oh, the reason why they fight.
Yeah, the reason why they fight is
not the result.
No, not the
Batman
result.
doesn't have a
The result is god wrong.
But I mean, it's one of
Unless
the
it's like
so wrong,
unless it's like a super early paper mache armor or something like that. Like he got, like if it was the armor he got from the cave, then maybe.
We're talking maybe here.
Yeah.
No, but no, it felt very one-sided. Tony didn't do much. It's like, and it, it felt like Batwank on screen.
As much as I love Batman,
I just hate that song. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm shitting on this fight a lot. Yeah. But Mali, no, not undeservedly. It was not that great, but Mali only did this in a week. Like, Mali only did this fight in a week.
Which is mad impressive.
Well, it's not that great.
That kind of effects
it's not that great. When you take that into account, it takes on a whole new sense of just how good the Woman Melee team are. And how much they've improved, because he's done this before. He had 2 weeks to do Beast vs. Goliath. Look how that turned out.
Yeah,
it's amazing how far they've come.
Boring, disappointing episodes of season 2.
They're on a lower budget, and they are doing much better work.
Compare what they did to a week to like the very early 1 minute melees, like where you had what's his face, Terry versus Jin or whatever his name was. That was like one of the first ones. That's like mad impressive.
This one is this one's better. No, I give it. It's still good. It's just like I think I'm just shitting on it because it's not Woman Melee's normal standard. And again, it didn't feel like a fight, just more Batwank.
It felt like a season 2. It felt like a season 3 fight, basically.
It wasn't bad.
Death Battle season 3 fight. It felt that. Not
no, I meant
level.
it felt like a 1 minute melee season 3
really,
fight.
really could have been better.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like it felt like one character is like one-sided. It's not quite as dynamic or.
It felt like Mario versus Cell.
Yeah,
in fact,
that's actually
Mario versus Cell.
A little less.
It's a decent looking fight. It's a decent. Okay, Mario versus Cell looks better. It's decent. Yeah. It's a decent looking fight. Except this one has bad sound effects, not obviously the voices. The voices were god there. The sound effects I found pretty awful. Voices were awful though. Yeah, awful, amazing. Jesus.
Awfully amazing.
I mean, the guy who did Iron Man.
They're awfully amazing. They're so amazing. They make me feel awful. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's not like I enjoyed it.
I give it like a 7 out of 10.
I give it
something
1
like that. Oh, fuck you.
6 or a 5, which is still Hey, it's still not a bad rating. It's just not a good
7, maybe 7.5 out of 10.
That's the thing. It's just not. It's not bad.
What would you guys rank Zoro versus Erza since we're doing this?
Zoro versus Erza, I would definitely give an 8. It's not perfect.
I agree with an 8.
Yeah, 8.
Like the sound effects really brought it down.
You'd rank 3D and 2D. Yeah, you'd rank 3D and 2D battles separately, in my opinion, on these ranking scales, or they get really
I completely agree.
Yeah, they get really wonky because the 3D battles would knock all the 2D battles down at least 4 points. So they'd all be in like 4.
Yeah, that's.
So yeah, if as a 2D battle, I'd give it like an 8, and even as like just a death battle in general for season 3, I'd give it about a 6, which is really high for a 2D battle this season.
Yeah,
maybe a
that's
7.
true. All right.
So now we get to. Wow, we're going through this pretty quickly, all things considered.
Let's not watch this.
Good.
Yeah, there's not much this time, thankfully. So now we go on to the questions. Remember, if you want to send in your questions, send them to discussingdeathbattle@gmail.com. Link will be on the screen and in the description. Don't forget to put that on the screen, Mo.
I will not. I normally do anyway.
Okay,
so probably some sort of witty banter.
Our first fight idea comes from Brobuscus, who just simply sent us this fight idea, that's brief. I mean, we like when you guys give us, like, descriptions for stuff and things, but, hey, brevity is alright. He sent us...
This is nice in its own way.
his suggestion, yeah, especially given the day we're recording, Crash Bandicoot versus classic Spyro the Dragon. So I'm guessing he means the Spyro from the PS1 game.
Did he specify classic?
Yeah, he did say
Did he specify classic?
Spyro. He said
Fuck
it in his
yes.
email.
Okay.
Good man.
Yes.
Crash wins.
Good man. We like you.
Boom.
This is my equivalent to
Thank you very much.
to Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter, and I mentioned
said
this
that
before, and even Star said, same developers too. I grew up with a bunch of different consoles. PlayStation was one of them, and I had like all 3 Spyro games, and the only Crash game I didn't have was Warped. But I've heard good things about
That's
it.
the best one!
I
How
know
could you
it's
not
the
play
best one, but I'm poor! What do you expect?
You better get the remake, bro.
I don't
If you
have
don't play the
PS4 to
remake
get
of
the
War,
Yeah, speaking of which, yes, the remake trailers are out.
Yeah, and I don't have a
The art style's
PS4
gonna take a
or
while to
money
grow
get
on me,
so I
but
can't get
it
the
looks like
remake
they're going in
anyway.
the right direction.
But yeah, this is a really good match because if you just said Crash versus Spyro, Spyro's had 3 different franchises,
if you want...
and a lot of them can be just overpower Crash.
Okay, if you want
Just
to run
the
down
one, really.
If you want to run down of how this fight goes, it's Crash shit. Crash is just one Crash. Every single Crash is the same Crash. Crash shit stomps nearly every version of Spyro.
Except for Legend of the Dragon, basically.
Yeah, Legend
Except
of Spyro.
That's the only version.
I'm gonna say this now.
Legend of Spyro
I was a huge Spyro fan, and then I started looking at some of the stuff for the Legend of the Spyro series. I was like, oh my god, what the hell is this? What did they do to you, Spyro?
They put him in Skylanders.
Yeah.
No. This was before Skylanders
no
was
fairness,
even a thing
looking
that
back on it,
existed, and I was
series,
like, oh my god, what
looking
the hell
back on
is
it, looking
this?
back on it with the... Okay, it's not the same and it's not as good, but the Legend series wasn't that terrible.
No, it was just really
It's
different. It's like super serious.
It was different.
Yeah, it's
it was
super
different, and it shouldn't have been
edgy
Spyro.
and gritty, and he gets super serial, and
I miss
everything has
Moneybags.
to be dark and edgy because that means it's cool, and that means it'll make more money. You know, the usual shit from the late aughts for gaming.
Fucking
Where
Activision.
you couldn't have any sort of color except for
I know, Sierra.
really dark or really bland.
Hey, they made that Incredible Hulk game, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
With those guys.
Um.
Ultimate Destruction is still the best Hulk game ever. One of the best superhero games.
Not
Anyway, yeah.
And yeah,
and it got turned
All
into
3 of
prototype.
them.
I mean, classic Spyro, I will admit, doesn't have as much as what Crash does, seemingly. But
In what regard?
Yeah,
Like just
like
powers?
I said,
or-
every Crash is
in like
every Crash is the
stacks.
same crash. Yeah, every Crash is the same Crash. So the original Crash game is, I can't remember the feats right now. I remember me and Proto went through them together with another guy.
He
and we were
reacted
looking
to
at
a super relativistic laser. He survived like, I don't know, like a meteor or some shit like that. I don't know. But he's got like
stuff like that. And then even later in the series, he overpowers those Titan things and like can mind control.
oh,
them. That's pretty
Crash
cute.
Team Racing. That's where a lot of his feats came from.
Yes.
Like speed feats.
And that, I have that. And that is one of the best kart racing games that's not Mario Kart.
It's a great game, yeah. And they still have a better battle fucking mode than Mario Kart 8.
And, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it's always, and going on Crash Team Racing for a bit of a tangent, it's always hard for me to try and decide which is better between that one and Diddy Kong Racing for the Mario Kart Clone Award. For Best Mario Kart Clone.
Sonic Tag Team Racing Super Hyplex Pro. It actually isn't that bad, the Sonic Racing game.
They really aren't. They're actually the best Sonic games of recent
Sonic
memory.
and Sega one is good, not Sonic
I have
Riders,
transformed.
making that distinction.
I have transformed. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean Sonic
Is
Riders.
that the one with Samba de Amigo in
Oh
it?
yeah, they're both the ones for Sonic de Amigo. We're not talking Sonic Riders.
Okay.
Not talking Riders.
Sonic
They're
Riders
that
is
competing.
decent, except for the most recent one. That one's shit. But I mean,
The Connect one?
yeah, the one Sonic Free
Holding
Riders.
hands? Did you see the Angry Joe video for that?
I saw the Pro Jared one for that.
Yeah.
It was Jared who did it, yeah.
Was it Jared or Angry Joe?
Both.
I don't know, one of them.
Both of
Most
them
of
did
them
it.
did it. Most people have done it. It's hilarious.
And for good reason. It's terrible.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Anyway, getting back to
Still better
Crash
than
vs.
DBZ
Spyro.
Connect.
But yeah, Spyro
not,
gets shit stomped in terms of stats. Spyro, I would say, has a larger arsenal of stuff at his disposal with all the power-ups and abilities that he has, but he does not even hold a candle to Crash in the stats department and the stuff where it really matters.
Logically speaking, if we're talking about for a death bell, I feel like these feats could be like kind of like easily to gloss over.
Yeah.
For them, but it's death bell. Death bell's death bell. They have their own way of doing things.
Seem to like any stats that aren't like absolute obvious. They don't seem to really like scaling that much either.
That's just how they do things. Yeah.
That's their own way. That's fine.
Yeah.
And but yeah, overall, that's a really good matchup, and it's a really requested one. I mean, the freaking research team wants that one. They had it in their list.
Everybody wants it. Let's be real. It's Crash and Spyro.
That was the Sony rivalry. The rivalry within the company.
Oh, there's better ones.
Yeah, and
for mascots,
and then Insomniac and Naughty Dog went on to make Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter, respectively.
Yeah.
Which was also really good rivalry. So, anyway, next one comes from...
I think...
Let's go on to the next email, who comes from CJ Oliva. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. He gave us 4 fight ideas and he gave 3 ideas on bonus fight, and the bonus fight was Broly versus Wet Garbage Bag. Spoiler alert, Wet Garbage Bag wins. And the one Mo really wanted to talk about, no matter what. The one Mo really wanted to talk about was Venom versus Alex Mercer.
Okay. Yes, this is baby. Because, we'll move on to why I like this idea so much, because it segues into something else. But first of all, covering Venom and Heller, I believe Venom is faster with precog, and Mercer is... I said Heller already, didn't I? Yeah, Mercer is stronger. Okay, well, that spoils a little bit. Mercer is stronger with better regen. So it kind of, it's pretty even.
Gonna save Alex Mercer for Cole McGrath because of that quest and rivalry.
It's a pretty even fight and really good. But there's no real similarities in it, is there? Other than the fact that they're like these massive tentacle monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not even like you can't even connect the symbiote and the disease.
Well, I would say they're both anti-heroes.
Doesn't Venom have like a super toxic hacks poison or something that he can infect people with? Or I might be wrong on that. I remember that being a thing.
Well, move on to I'll move on to the win conditions in a minute, because I honestly I agree with Wolf. They're gonna save Alex for Cole.
And Cole's gonna just
and I want that fight
because I want to see and ice.
Cole's gonna shit on him. Not only that, but Cole has the calc of like hurting the beast more than a fucking nuke, and Alex barely survived the nuke, so Cole, the simple math, Cole kills him. No. So yeah, I don't really want Alex v Venom, and I don't really see why you'd want it. There's not many similarities. However, Symbiote versus Blacklight is very possible, because one of the first fights I came up with on the DB forums that got a lot of steam was Agent Venom, Flash Thompson versus Sergeant James Heller, the protagonist from Prototype 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that has a little more similarity
I think
to it.
It's the military Yeah, it was like the military background, and you know what, they got their powers from the one they were hunting and one they were looking up to, and they kind of had to fight on that. It's very, very interesting similarities. They're still military men at heart, despite the mutations they have.
Would Carnage fare any better against either of those two?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if Venom or Heller wins, and it's a hard match to call, because the speed advantage, it's Marble Street levelers versus a guy I don't think tops the triple-digit Mach, and you know how fast Marble Street levelers are, and the symbiotes are in the top tier of those, and they have precog. But I don't think they're as strong, because they should only be they're as strong as Spidey, but we can't really say they're stronger, unless you count the times that he's like overpowered the Thing and stuff, which are kind of outliers.
Super outliers.
Super
Thing
outliers.
is like planet level or something like
Thing
that.
Thing is fucking planet level.
Thing is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, and I don't know anything about the comics, so
Yeah,
so Wolf is just in the dark, basically.
Yeah, I'm just here listening.
Yeah, so where you nail Venom...
Well, you got your pony
where
talking, so we got this.
Yeah.
This is our expertise.
Where you nail Venom stats is up for debate. At least in terms of DC speed, he's top tier street leveler. He gets all their best stuff. But his strength is normally portrayed as higher than most street levelers. But where do you put him that's comfortable? That's the question. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough for Alex. Or Alex Heller. I don't know if they fall into city or town. If they only fall into town as well, then Venom shitstomps. If they fall into city, it's more even because Venom's still what the fuck faster. Heller heals better, but Venom can heal more, I think. Venom has very exploitable weaknesses. Heller not really by Venom, because Venom won't think of it, whereas Heller's like fire and sound. I don't think they have sound in Arsenal. Heller can pick up weapons from everywhere. He's military trained. He might well use a flamethrower and look out, you know. It's plus if anything explodes, it's more likely that it's going to get hot than cold. So it's a very interesting match. Plus, they can also use guns, just to add another dimension. And yeah, it's very interesting. So I don't want to call it. I can't call it. I think the main thing that comes down to is, does the Venom, like assuming that they are in an area where Heller can absorb people for more biomass, because that would be an unfair advantage. Although I think Venom can do the same thing if he eats people, but Flash wouldn't let him. And hell, the symbiote after it got cured of its madness wouldn't want to either.
Would his webbing help at all? Like subdue him, or is he just like...
his webbing would help for movement, combo extension. It's better than the tendrils. The tendrils are nowhere near as usable. I was just reading something. Okay, so this is just for Eddie Brock. I don't know if it works for Flash Thompson and stuff. It would apply for Flash as well. Flash is a stronger Venom. Anything Eddie can do as Venom Flash can do. Yeah. Especially now that they're bonded better.
So he's got camouflage capabilities, so he's able to mimic clothing and surroundings and stuff. And he also has poisonous fangs, which is what I was hinting at before. So his bite was able to kill Sandman, and Sandman is, he's Sandman. He's kind of like intangible in a way. So he left him, and he was unable to reform or turn. And
remember, Sandman. I know Sandman has like that one little bit of grain of sand that's pretty much like the mother brain of the sand.
It's like his soul is in one grain of sand, but he just bit him in his just random area, and then he got poisoned, and he quote unquote died. But I think he came back later.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But that is a win condition, because like Sandman's healing and invulnerability is very comparable to Heller's.
And because people are just going to bring it up, could the symbiote just take over? What's his name, Heller?
I really don't know, and I don't know if Flash would let it either.
Yeah, that's the rule. It's the rules of the symbiote itself that are questionable.
Right.
Even with the Clone Saga, we still don't even know that much about how the symbiote works.
We have a good idea. The symbiote race. This is going to be a little bit complicated. The symbiote race, they're called the Kletar or something.
Yeah, that's right.
They're actually a good race. They're really they go around the universe, they bond to people and help them to try get their species to grow. However, an offshoot of that kept using they're called symbiotes, but they kind of became parasites and they used their hosts, drained them dry, and moved on to the next one. So they got excommunicated.
Venom was one of the good ones, right?
No, Venom's one of the bad ones.
He was one of the bad ones. Okay.
But he started becoming good again. Yeah, but he started becoming good again, and it drove him mad. He found Peter, and while his bad tendencies are what kind of sent Peter over the edge, the all angst and stuff.
Pretty much everything from Spider-Man.
Emo Dan.
That's why he was Spider-Man 3, although it wasn't quite that bad in the comics. So he was still able to rein it in because of Peter. But then when he landed on the murderous psychopath that is Eddie, all the evil just came to the forefront. But then as it was on Flash, for longer periods of time it was on Flash, it kind of balanced out. So when they ended up going to the symbiote, and Flash had it on drugs as well, to keep it calm. So when they ended up going to the symbiote planet, the good symbiote planet, they kind of purged it and made it good again. But it kind of went crazy because there was one piece left on Earth in the form of, I think her name was Siren or something, another symbiote woman who had part of Venom's suit, and that was never cured, so it kind of drove them crazy.
I do know that the symbiote does sort of amplify emotions, especially anger.
Yeah, it doesn't after being purified, I believe.
Yeah, after Purified, it just
because it's just trying to make
amplify your motions, just not as much.
No, I don't think it does. Not once it's the good symbiote. Symbiotes like Carnage and Toxin would, but I don't think the Purified Venom symbiote does. And the current Venom run, Venom's not even on Flash anymore. He's on another criminal whose name I don't know. It's very interesting to see the difference. Like if you compare this to like the first appearance of Venom, in that we have two different points of view: one of Venom and one of the guy he's on. The guy he's on is a murderer, a vicious monster of a person, and there's this constant thing from the Venom symbiote of I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. You know, he doesn't want to do these horrible things.
What would normally be the parasite is being attacked.
Well, it's not
essentially the parasite is switched from the actual symbiote to the person. Now.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good idea. Although it's not so much a parasite anymore. Like towards the end, it was a true symbiote. Same as Carnage and Toxin, because they're kind of like Carnage and Cassidy are so interlinked that Carnage, the bits of Carnage are now in Cassidy's blood. They love each other. It's not like I want to put my dick in you, although it kind of does because it's a suit. Yeah, no, it's
because it's a symbiote.
They can't be without each other. They're ideal for each other, so they want to stay together. Although I think the Carnage symbiote has abandoned Cassidy for a period of time.
Didn't he die?
Bonded to other people and then come back.
Like he sacrificed
he came
himself
back,
when
he was good. He came back and now he's trying to summon a Marvel version of Cthulhu.
Oh, okay.
The most I know about I'm gonna say this now, the most I know about
Toxin is
any of
basically
the you go.
Toxin right now is on Eddie and is basically a lethal protector version of Venom. That's pretty cool.
So basically, comics are easy to get into.
Yeah, comics
totally.
You can pick up any comic and know exactly what's going on across the entire universe.
Yeah, just like with anime and manga.
Definitely.
I'm gonna say this right now. The most I know about the Clone Saga is a few of the most I know about any of the symbiotes is anything. Most of the reviews Linkar has done. The Maximum Carnage video game for the Super Nintendo and Spider-Man 3. That is it. That is all I know.
But yeah. So there you go. Thanks to Mac's researching skills. I'd say Venom's superior speed, what's it called? Probably more experience via being a superhero.
Camouflage. The poison
they both have camouflage. That's the thing. They both have camouflage, and they both will probably find each other between the spider sense for Venom and what's called predator sense for Heller. So camouflage is kind of useless. It's just Venom's faster. He will sneak up on Heller, bite him, and then Heller's just gonna die. And also their strength shouldn't be that far apart. So basically all Heller has is regen, and both their regens can be kind of tired out pretty easily because they both rely on biomass. But I think Venom's biomass comes back over time, whereas Heller's doesn't. So yeah, this fight could be brutal though, and also very varied because they both have their like, organic blades, claws, tendrils, and all that crap, webbing. But they'd also use guns. So like you could go in many different directions with this fight. So I like it a lot.
Definitely extensive fight.
Yeah, it's a very cool one. I think Torian would salivate doing it.
Let's hope the computer doesn't almost explode from it like it did with all the Doomsday.
Chances of Agent Venom being in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh yeah, that got announced too, and
I don't know. I honestly don't know because
they said more Guardians of the Galaxy. If I recall,
mostly because the fact they're trying to stay away from the X-Men and Fantastic Four stuff because that's partially it. They want to focus mostly on Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff.
On the Cinematic Universe,
which is a dumb idea, and I absolutely despise it.
That means no Wolverine, no Magneto, no Storm,
no Doom.
No Doom! How do you not have Doom? Doom is like the best character.
Well, if Venom is going to be as in the cinematic universe at any point, then he could come in. But as it is now, I don't think he's on the cards, so he might not.
I mean, they are making a Spider-Man movie.
They are, but he's a while away, and the villain for that one's the fucking Vulture. So.
Oh my god.
I like Vulture.
If they put the Vulture in, I may well kill somebody. I do, but he doesn't belong in a game like this.
They might put Venom in because of the fact that... The problem I think they might say with Venom
Why won't they do Mysterio, for fuck's sake?
Making a moveset for him that's different from Spider-Man. which I'd call bullshit on.
They've done it before.
They did freaking
was in
Jill
Marvel
and Chris,
Capcom.
and those two have pretty much the same moveset.
Have you seen Marvel vs. Capcom? Was it Marvel vs. Marvel Superheroes or Marvel vs. Capcom 1? Venom was in that. He had a moveset. It was awesome. Nothing like Spider-Man, minus the fact they both have.
MVC 2 also.
I'm
I had it on
excited the
PS4.
fact
On
that
PS2.
Mega Man X is gonna be in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm not a fan of X,
I love the fact
but at
that
least
they
it's a
opened the
Mega
trailer.
Man in there, and it's not just Zero and Tron Bond.
He's my favorite Mega Man, so he's my favorite Mega Man, so I'm
And
really
Sigma
happy.
might be in there too.
I don't like
from the teaser.
Yes, it seems like it's gonna be an Ultron Sigma fusion. So that's pretty cool.
Boo.
Really?
Galactus to
It
Sigma.
looked to me more like it was Sigma
Beyonder.
and MODOK.
Boo.
It's not MODOK.
Well, I mean,
No, it's too humanoid
The
to be
top
MODOK.
one looked like Sigma, the bottom one looked
Also-
like MODOK. But they said it was going to be like a new villain from what I've heard, so...
It's just gonna be a fusion of the two. We know it's gonna be.
By the time we get
Fusion,
done
there's
this,
no way it won't
they might...
Okay, I think we talked.
Yeah, we talked enough about this.
The
Let's
trailer
get
man.
on.
Yeah.
So, final
Okay,
one comes
more.
from... And I gotta thank this guy for actually putting what he wanted us to call him in the email, because otherwise I would have to pronounce the name that he put his email as, and it's really, really odd, so I don't want to mispronounce it and offend him. Sir Kill-A-Lot.
I love you. I love this person.
He said there are two potential matchups for Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes I would like you to discuss. These two matchups are Travis versus Jack Kamen from Mad World and Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim. Are either of these good matchups? If both are good, then which is better? I'll answer the first one now. Yes, both are great matchup ideas.
I think which one is better comes down to what do you want. Do you want the more over-the-top fight or the more fitting fight? Because the more over-the-top fight would definitely be Travis. I'm not too familiar with these series, so I need to get the name. Travis versus Jack would be the more over-the-top fight. It'd
Because
definitely
Mad
be the more,
World is just
because
ridiculous.
yeah, they're both ridiculous. If you want the more fitting fight, Travis versus Scott.
Yeah.
Because
Although
losers who are
I've
fighting
heard
people.
Scott beats Travis, but Travis beats Jack.
I heard the opposite. Legitimately the exact opposite way around. Scott only beats Travis if you scale him to the vegan. You don't scale him to the vegan.
Well, I meant with the because of like the power of love and stuff.
What about
Nah,
for
it's
video
not
game
enough.
feats?
It's still not enough.
Still not enough? Alright, I'm fine with it.
You know, Med, yeah, he's pretty big on that matchup. He's looking into it. He's a huge Scott Pilgrim fanboy. No matter what we find, it's still not enough for Travis.
He really hated that Amy won.
Not enough for Scott
Or not? No, I mean it's not enough for Scott
to win,
to handle
yeah.
Travis. Meanwhile, Travis versus Jack, I'm not too sure about how that one goes. I think Travis.
I hope
wins
Jack
that
wins,
too.
because Jack seems like a bad motherfucker.
Jack
They're both
Kamen is
pretty
a
cool.
fucking badass. He really is.
Yeah, I think Jack wins too, but no matter what, there's gonna be blood everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anything. So yeah, I like both those fights.
I don't know
think-
much about Mad
What-
World or Scott Pilgrim, but I've played both No More Heroes games, and Travis has some ridiculous things. Another thing I would have to ask is, would you give him Blazenberry, which is the gigantic fucking mech he has that he used in one boss fight?
If Sweet Tooth
another
can get it,
gigantic
then so
fucking
can
mech.
he.
I see no reason. I see no reason why you wouldn't.
Because that thing is, I mean, technically the UAA confiscated that thing, but I mean...
You could get it back. There we go. There's a bit more choreography for the fight for you. They're fighting there, and Travis ends up getting it back. And then Jack probably destroys it, and then they keep going from there, and Travis still wins.
That would be, yeah, I would not be surprised if Jack did destroy it. I mean, he was able to take out Frank and Little Eddie, and those guys are fucking huge.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if he was able to take out Travis's mech. Granted, I could also reasonably see him getting into the mech and fighting Travis there, and that would be even more awesome.
That would also be cool.
But yeah, I think both of those are really good matchups. I can't really tell you which one is better. I personally want to see Travis versus Scott, but I would not be sad seeing Travis versus Jack. And then Jack...
Right,
and we didn't even include the Anarchy Reigns stuff, if that even counts. Which, I would say that it might.
Oh, there we go. This is why they're going to do the fight. It's going to be Travis versus Jack. they're gonna do it for the sole reason that Torian can use that. And Torian can use the rest of Torian can use the rest of the Anarchy Reigns soundtrack, and nobody can call him out for being unfitting.
Yeah.
Rap everywhere.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, No More Heroes has amazing songs in its soundtrack for both games. Mach 13 Elephant Explosion, Psycho Soldier, freaking We Are Finally Cowboys. All of them really good songs, but let's be honest, Torian's just gonna use up nothing but Anarchy Reigns because Jack. And because he loves Anarchy Reigns. Which, again, good soundtrack, you can't really blame him for it. So, I think that's about it that we need to talk about today.
Yeah, we don't have much. We can probably drag... I don't think we should do emails next time, because it's the finale of this season.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's like we could probably do something like we could probably go over like what's our favorite and least favorite fight this season, ranking
yeah,
the season.
we can go over basic stuff. I might make a season 3 list.
Like you did last time.
Like I did last time, maybe.
That would be pretty dope.
Maybe.
I was so disappointed this season with like all of the fights. Well, not all of the fights, but a lot of the fights. So it'd be really hard for me to sit through all of them again and say, okay, I like this one more than that one, and make a definitive list, because most of them were just blah.
It's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see what you mean. I don't know. But yeah, I think we're done here. I think we've covered everything we have to.
Yep. So this was a pretty short one, all things considered, for us. But I mean, next one's gonna be the season finale. We are not gonna have too much to talk about, but I think we are probably going to go into a lot of stuff. So
not only that, but like we're probably not going to be too happy.
Yeah. I think no matter what happens next episode with Deadpool versus Pinkie, we're not going to be happy at all.
Yeah, maybe One Man Melee will deliver.
Maybe, because they've got a lot of fights that'll be coming out.
Who is next? Who was in the teaser? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell you. Is it Ryu again?
I hope not. The Ryu's been everywhere recently.
Yeah.
Give somebody else a chance.
I mean, Akuma was shown for Street Fighter V. Ryu was in the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite trailer.
Mufasa Akuma.
It is though. It's fucking weird.
It's goofy. I like it, but it's like really goofy.
It's not awful.
What are you guys? Are you talking about Akuma?
Good either.
Street Fighter V's design?
Yeah, Akuma.
Somebody said he looks like Ganondorf from Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, he fucking does.
That too.
No,
Anyway.
I can't unsee that now.
I did a thing on DeviantArt that was kind of like that. Now it's even more fitting because of that. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for us today. So hope you guys enjoy the season finale, because I know none of us are. And we'll see you next time. So bye everybody.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.